this evening is themed from the Civil War to about 1915. It's all themed. And so we'll be asking a few of you tonight if you know some things. And there's prizes afterwards. Okay. And if you stay for the whole show. Oh, there aren't a lot of river songs. Right. But this isn't one of them. Where's Doug? Oh, there, stay alone. Stay alone right now. He's not a plant, I swear. But Doug, do you know the composer of that song? No. I told you he wasn't a plant. You know the name of that song? Yeah, a lot of people know the name of that song. However, who was the composer? Composer? Maybe the next one you'll get. Okay. So we got to scratch that little prize off. Is it? No, but you're in the right ear. Okay. Here we go. song? There's no prize for it. Okay. The composer of Oh Susanna was the same.
Stephen Foster.
No, wait. Are you sure? Then you have won candy to be presented to you at the end of the show, so you need to stay for the end of the show. That's one way to get you to stay. Right? However, we're going to double the ante here. And who would like to play for the whole crowd? Linda? Sure, okay.
Why not?
So Linda,
Yes.
since your husband can answer the question, we are going to ask you to play for the whole crowd. If you can answer my question at the end of this song, you will win a piece of candy for the entire room. Next song. Next song.
Everybody helps me.
Wait, then you go to church. No. Win a piece of candy for everybody in this room if you can name the name of that song.
Just a closer walk with thee.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. It's an old hymn.
Are you sticking with that title?
Oh, as close as I can get to it.
I'll give you one chance to change it.
What
Should
did
she
she
change?
say?
Well, you can see the music.
I know, I wish I could. No, I can't.
She's right. So, you all have won a piece of candy except for Claire. Is she in here yet? No candy.
I don't need it.
We don't let you play because you're a professional.
And the composer is traditional. Yeah, Trad.
Staying in the time period. Remember, Civil War to 2000 to 1950.
Alexander's ragtime band.
I gave out all the prizes. Okay, well, we're going back to the river now. This next one is back to the river. Are you looking? This one, if you can get this title, you've been to church. I've got peace like a river, right? We're not done with the river yet. Gotta check my time, make sure I'm not holding. Shall we gather at the river? Right. And we have another river song coming up. Another river song. This is a baritone solo. We have Doug here. Paul, they want to sing. One of those baritones they want to sing.
Next song is about baritone.
big baritone solo. Big bass baritone. If you haven't felt like you're in church, yeah, you will now. Give me that old time. have some dancers that I've seen at gigs that I've played that like to dance. So if you feel like dancing, this is your song. If you're a dancer, this is your song. There's plenty of room in here. Just have fun. Offenbach. Okay, one more church song, and then we're going to go right in to get this place started. Okay? We know you want us to keep playing. This song is about saints and a few sinners, so we'll meet you with the saints.
Castelli and Bill Morales. Hello, and welcome to the Trilogy Theater Group's production of The Lost Souls of Spoon River. I am Jim Hale, the president of TTG and director of this play. At the last show, the director, Carol Foote, said that it takes a village to do what we do. It takes a lot of people. And in this case, I'd say it would take a small metropolis. There's a cast of 19. It's the biggest we've ever had, plus all the people you'll see in your programs who helped put the set together and did the publicity. We had help from the HOA, scheduling, getting the room set up. Just a lot of people. We're very grateful for everybody who contributed to this. You see these beautiful programs. That's one of the things. Carol Foote did the programs, did a beautiful job. You're welcome to take them home with you, but if you don't want to do that, we have handy boxes back there where you can leave them, and we won't have to print up any more for tomorrow night. That really helps to recycle. We have allied ourselves with a charity for this event. You might have seen the pillows out there. There's a group called the Ryan's Case for Smiles. It's a national group. There's a local chapter that does this work. They go and purchase that pretty fabric, and they make pillowcases for children in hospitals. There's a jar out there if you want to add. We've already donated. The TTG has already donated to Ryan's Care for Smiles, Case for Smiles, and you may do that too. There's a jar. And there's also a box if you want to donate to us, in addition to, thank you, having bought tickets to the show. That's very helpful. This is a good time to turn off your cell phones, or at least silence them or set them to vibrate. We're in a cemetery, so this shows some respect. It's a one-act play. There's no intermission. So, we usually serve refreshments, candy and cookies and tea and coffee and stuff. So, we don't want you to feel deprived. So, at the end of the show, as Terry said, you have all won free candy. We will have little Halloween treats for you as you leave, and we'll be out there in the lobby. You can chat with the cast, all 19 of us, plus the set designer and all the crew. We'll be out there giving you candy to make you stay around a while. The idea to stage the Spoon River Anthology, which is a set of 244 poems, full book-sized group of poems. The idea to stage this thing was originally a very good friend of ours, a member of the group several years ago, named Ron Chalmers. He was going to direct it, put the whole thing together. We are very sad to learn last week that he passed away just before his vision was finally realized in this production. So we're dedicating this to Ron. So now, ladies and gentlemen, The Lost Souls of Spoon River. Oh, wait a minute. No, before we do that, we have a lottery. You don't just win candy here. You can win tickets to the next show. So if somebody would like to draw a ticket here, it's okay if you draw your own. Just pick one out. Yeah. So the winning ticket in this case is 403198. You, all right. This is the equivalent of a check for 2 tickets for the next show. So when you do your reservations for the next show, just put that in there instead of a check. 2 tickets. How about another one? Want to draw for me? We have one more here. 0070360. Who's got 360? It's this color. Nobody? Oh. It's this color. It's probably. Okay. Nobody has 070360? Give it another shot? 2 nights ago, it took 9 tries to get 2 of them. Okay, this is a blue one. It's 403199. Anybody? Okay. Really, 199, blue ticket. Nope. Oh, 1 off. So close, but no cigar. Yeah, let's try it again. Okay, 403190. We got a winner. Okay. Who is it back here? Is that you? Okay. It's worth 2 tickets to our next show. And now, the Lost Souls of Spoon River. There'll be a blackout any second. See if I can help out here.
Do it all, dear.
Help me out, Perry, thank you. Okay. So here we go. It is the year 2022. 107 years since the publication of Spoon River Anthology. During that time, these grounds have been neglected, many people have been forgotten, and many souls have felt abandoned. It is said that this cemetery is populated by people of low social status or questionable character. Well, some of us here would disagree with that. Was it luck, fate, the choices we made, the people we fought with or loved, or both, that led us to shed our mortal coil on this hill?
Where's Elmer? Herman? Bert? Tom? Charlie? The weak of will, the strong of arm, the clown, the boozer, the fighter? All sleeping on the hill. One passed in a fever. One burned in a mine. One was killed in a brawl. One died in jail. One fell from a bridge, toiling for children and wife. All sleeping, sleeping on the hill.
You are over there, Father Malloy, where holy ground is, and a cross marks every grave. Not here with us on the hill, us of wavering faith and clouded vision and drifting hope, and unforgiven sins. Why, you were so human, Father Malloy. Taking a friendly glass sometimes with us. Siding with us, who would escape the coldness and dreariness of village morality. Why, you were like a traveler who brings a little box of sand from the wastes about the pyramids and makes it real, makes Egypt real. You were part of it and related to a great past. And yet you were so close to many of us. You believed in the joy of life. You faced life as it is, and as it changes. Some of us nearly came to you, Father Malloy, seeing how your church divined the heart and provided for it. Through Peter the Flame, Peter the Rock.
When I first came to Spoon River, I did not know whether what they told me was true or false. They would bring me an epitaph and stand around while I worked in my shop and say, "He was so kind. He was wonderful. She was the sweetest woman. He was the most consistent Christian." And I would chisel for them whatever they asked, all in ignorance of the truth. Later, as I lived among the people here, I knew how near to the life were the epitaphs that were ordered for them as they died. Still, I chiseled what they paid me to chisel and made myself party to the false chronicles of the stone, even as a historian does, who writes without knowing the truth, or who is influenced to hide it.
I would have been as great as George Eliot, but for an untoward fate. For look at that photograph of me made by Pennyworth. Chin resting on hands, deep-set eyes, gray too, far searching. But there was that old problem. Should it be celibacy, matrimony, or unchastity? Then John Slack, the rich druggist, wooed me, luring me with the promise of leisure for my novel. And I married him, giving birth to 8 children, had no time to write. It was all over for me anyway, when I ran the needle through my hand, washing the baby's things, and died of lockjaw. A most ironical death. Hear me, ambitious souls. Sex is the curse of life.
I was the first fruits of the Battle of Missionary Ridge. When I felt that bullet into my heart, I wished I had stayed at home and gone to jail for stealing the hogs of Colonel Shredder. Instead of running away to join the army, rather 1,000 times the county jail to lie under this marble figure with wings and this granite pedestal bearing the words pro-patriot. What do they mean anyway?
No Hoheimer ran away to the war the day before Colonel Treaderings were out of warrant through Justice Arnett for stealing hogs. Oh, but that's not what turned him a soldier. He caught me running with Lucius Atherton. We quarreled. I told him never again to cross my path. That's when he stole the hogs and went to war. Back of every soldier, there's a woman.
Your red blossoms amid green leaves are drooping, beautiful geranium, but you do not ask for water. You do not speak. You do not need to speak. Everyone knows you're dying of thirst, yet they do not bring water. They pass on saying, the geranium wants water. And I, who had happiness to share, long to share your happiness, Spoon River. I who craved your love, thirsted, withered before you, like this geranium someone has planted over me and left to die.
After you have enriched your soul to the highest point with books, thought, suffering, the understanding of many personalities, the power to interpret glances and silences, the pauses and momentous transformations, the genius of divination and prophecy, so that you feel able at times to hold the world in the hollow of your hand. Then, if by the crowding of so many powers into the compass of your soul takes fire, and in the conflagration of your soul, the evil of the world is lighted up and made clear. Be thankful if in that hour of supreme vision, life does not fiddle.
Where is old Philip Jones, who played with life all his 90 years, braving the sleep with bared breast, drinking, riding, thinking neither of wife nor kin, nor gold, nor love, nor heaven?
The earth keeps some vibration there in your heart. And that is you. And people call you. And if people find you can fiddle, like fiddle you must for all your life. What do you see? A harvest of clover? Or a meadow to walk through to the river? The winds in the corn, you rub your hands for beads you have to get to the market? Or else, you hear the rustle of skirts like the girl dancing in Little Grove. A coonie potter, killer dust of whirling leaves, and that ruinous drought. They look to me like redhead Sammy stepping it off the Tour Allure. How can I till my 40 acres? Not to speak of getting more, with medley of horns, bassoons, and piccolos, stirring my brain by crows and robins and the creak of an old windmill. Only these? And I never started to plow a day in my life that someone did not stop in the road and take me away to a dance or a picnic. I ended up with 40 acres. I ended up with a broken fiddle and a broken laugh and 1,000 memories and not a single regret.
We quarreled that morning, for he was 65 and I was 30, and I was nervous, and I was heavy with a child whose birth I dreaded. I thought over the last letter written me by that estranged young soul whose betrayal of me I had concealed by marrying the old man. Then I took morphine and sat down to read. Across the blackness that came over my eyes, I see these words. And Jesus said unto him, Verily I say unto thee, today thou shalt be with me in paradise.
At first, you will not know what they mean, and you may never know. We may never tell you. These sudden flashes in your soul, like lambent lightning on snowy clouds at midnight when the moon is full. They come in solitude, or perhaps you sit with a friend, and all at once a silence falls on speech, and her eyes, without a flicker, glow at you. You two have seen the secret together. She sees it in you, and you see it in her. And there you sit, thrilling, lest the mystery stand before you and strike you dead with a splendor like the sun's. Be brave, all souls who have such visions. As your body's alive as mine is dead, you are catching a whiff of the ether reserved for God himself. As I went down in the river to pray, studying about that good old way, and who shall wear the starry crown? Good Lord, show me the way. Oh, sisters, let's go down, let's go down, come on down. Oh, sisters, let's go down, down in the river to pray.
As I went down in the river to pray, studying about that good old way, and who shall wear the starry crown? Good Lord, show me the way. Oh, brothers, let's go down, let's go
leaned against the mantel, sick, thinking of my failure, looking into the abyss, weak from the noonday heat. A church bell sounded mournfully far away. I heard the cry of a baby and the coughing of John Yarnell, bedridden, fevers, dying. Then the violent voice of my wife, "Watch out, the potatoes are burning." I smelled them, and there was irresistible disgust. I pulled the trigger. Blackness. Light. Unspeakable regret. Fumbling for the world again. Too late. Thus, I came here with lungs for breathing. One cannot breathe here with lungs, though one must breathe. Of what use is it to rid oneself of the world when no soul may ever escape the eternal destiny of life?
If the excursion train to Peoria had just been wrecked, I might have escaped with my life. I certainly should have escaped this place. But, as it was going as well, they mistook me for John Allen, who was sent to the Hebrew cemetery at Chicago, and John Allen for me. So, while I here, it was bad enough running a clothing store in this town, but to be buried here, boy.
Where is Ella, Kate, Meg, Lizzie, and Edith? The tender heart, the simple soul, the loud, the proud, the happy one. All asleep on the hill. One died in shameful childbirth, one of thwarted love, one at the hands of a brute in a brothel, one of broken pride in search of heart's desire, one after living far away in London and Paris was brought back to her little space by Ella, Kate, and Meg. sleeping on the hill. I was a peasant girl from Germany, blue-eyed, rosy, happy and strong. And the first place I worked was at Thomas Green's. On a summer's day, when she was away, he stole into the kitchen and took me right in his arms and kissed me on my neck, I turning my head. Then neither of us seemed to know what happened. And I cried for what was to become of me. And cried as my secret began to show. And one day Mrs. Green said she understood and would make no trouble for me. But being childless, would adopt it. So she stayed in the house and sent out rumors as if it were going to happen to her. So all went well, and the child was born. They were so kind to me. Now, later on, I married Gus Vernon. And years passed. But at political rallies, when sitters-by thought I was crying at the eloquence of Hamilton Green, that was not it, no. I wanted to say, that's my son. That's my son.
I was the only child of Francis Harris of Virginia and Thomas Green of Kentucky, of valiant and honorable blood both. To them I owe all that I became: judge, member of Congress, leader in my state. From my mother, I learned vivacity, fancy, language. From my father, will, judgment, logic. All honor to them for what service I was to the people.
That's my son.
Mr. Kessler, you know, was in the Army, and he drew $6 a week as a pension, and stood on the corner talking politics, or sat at home reading Grant's memoirs. And I supported the family by washing, learning the secrets of all the people, from their curtains and counterpanes, shirts and skirts. For what was new rolls at length, and is replaced by better or none at all. People are prospering or falling back, and rents and patches grow wider with time. No thread or needle can paste decay, and there are stains that baffle soap. And there are colors that run in spite of you, lame though you are, for ruining your dress. Handkerchiefs, napery, all have their secrets. The laundress, life, knows all about it. And I, who went to all the funerals held in Spoon River, I swear, I never saw a dead face without thinking that it looked like something washed and ironed.
Seeds in a dry pot. Like mites in a coral. Faint iambics and a full breeze wakens. But the pine tree makes a symphony with triolets, villanelles, rondels, rondeaux, ballads by the score with the same old thought. The snows and the roses of yesterday are vanished, and what is love but a rose that fades? Life all around me here in the village. Tragedy, comedy, valor and truth, courage, constancy, heroism, failure, all in a loom. And oh, what patterns! With woodlands, meadows, streams, and rivers, blind to all of it, all my life. Triolets, villanelles, rondels, rondeaux, seeds in a dry pot. Tick, 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 tick. What little iambics. Tick, 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 tick.
Almost a shell of a woman after the surgeon's knife, and almost a year to creep back into strength, till the dawn of our wedding decennial found me my seeming self again. We walked the forest together on a path of soundless moss and turf, but I could not look into your eyes, and you could not look into my eyes, for such sorrow was ours, the beginning of the gray in your hair, and I but a shell of myself. What did we talk of? Sky, water, anything most to hide our thoughts. And then your gift of wild roses sat on the table to grace our dinner. Poor heart, how bravely you struggled to imagine and to live a remembered rapture. And then my spirit sunk as the night came on. And you left me alone in my room for a while, as you did when I was a bride. Poor heart. And then I looked in the mirror, and something said, one should be all dead when one is half dead. Nor ever mock life, nor ever cheat love. And I did it. Looking there in the mirror. Dear, have you ever understood?
I, born in Weimar, of a mother who was French and a German father, oh, a most learned professor. Orphaned at 14 years. Became a dancer all up and down the boulevards of Paris. Mistress betimes to sundry dukes and counts. Later to poor artists and poets. At 40 years passé, I sought New York and met old Patrick Hummer on the boat, red-faced in hell, though turned his 60th year. Returning after having sold a shipload of cattle in the German city of Hamburg, he brought me to Spoon River, where we lived for 20 years. They thought we were married. This oak tree near me is the favorite haunt of blue jays. Oh, chattering, chattering, chattering all day. And why not? My very dust is laughing, thinking of the humorous thing called life.
I went to the dances at Chandlerville and played Snap Out in Winchester. One time, we changed partners, driving home in the moonlight of middle June. And then I found Davis. We were married and lived together for 70 years, enjoying, working, raising the 12 children, 8 of whom we lost ere I had reached the age of 60. I spun, I wove, I kept the house, I nursed the sick, I made the garden, and for holiday rambled over the fields where sang the larks. And by Spoon River, gathering many a shell, and many a flower, and medicinal weed. Shouting to the wooded hills, singing to the green valleys. At 96, I had lived enough, that is all, and passed to a sweet repose. What is this I hear of sorrow and weariness, anger, discontent, and drooping hopes? Descendants, sons and daughters. Life is too strong for you? It takes life to love life.
My thanks, friends of the County Scientific Association, for this modest boulder and its little tablet of bronze. Twice I tried to join your honored society, but was rejected. And when my little brochure on the intelligence of plants began to attract attention, you almost voted me in. Yet I do not reject your memorial stone, seeing that I should, in so doing, deprive you of honor yourselves.
My parents thought that I would be as great as Edison or greater. But as a boy, I made balloons and went as kites and toys with toys, and little engines with tracks to run on, and telephones with cans and thread. I played the cornet, painted pictures, molded in clay, and took the part of the villain in the Octoroon. But then at 21 I married, and had to live, and so to live, I learned the stories of making watches, and kept a jewelry store on the square. Thinking, 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 thinking. Out of the business, but of the engine I studied the calculus to build. And all the Spoon River watched and waited to see it work. But it never worked. And a few kind souls believed my genius was somehow hampered by the storm. But it wasn't true. The truth is this. I didn't have the brains!
Maurice, weep not. I am not here under this pine tree. The balmy air of spring whispers through the sweet grass. The stars sparkle. The whippoorwill calls. But thou grievest, while my soul lies rapturous in the blessed nirvana of eternal light. Go to the good heart that is my husband, who broods what he calls our guilty love. Tell him that my love for you, no less than my love for him, wrought out my destiny. That through the flesh I won spirit, and through spirit I won peace. There is no marriage in heaven, but there is love.
All sleeping on the hill. They brought them their dead sons from the war, and their daughters crushed by life, and their children fatherless
crying. All sleeping. Sleeping on the hill.
Only the chemist can tell, and not always the chemist, what will result from compounding fluids or solids. And who can tell how men and women will react on each other and what children will result? There were Benjamin Pantier and his wife, both good in themselves, but evil towards each other. He oxygen, she hydrogen. Their son, Reuben, the devastating fire. I, Trainer the druggist, a mixture of chemicals, killed while making an experiment, lived unwedded.
Together in this grave lie Benjamin Pantier, attorney at law, and Pip, his dog, constant companion, solace, and friend. Down the gray road, friends, children, men, women, passing one by one out of life, left me till I was alone with Pip, for partner, bedfellow, comrade, and drink. In the morning of life, I knew aspiration and I saw glory. Then she, who survives me, snared my soul with a snare that led me to death. Till I, once strong of will, lay broken, indifferent, living with Pip in a room back of a dingy office. Under my jawbone is snuggled bony nose of Pip. Our story is lost in silence. Go by, mad world.
I know he told that I snared his soul with a snare which bled him to death. And all the men loved him, and most of the women pitied him. But suppose you are really a lady and have delicate tastes and loathe the smell of whiskey and onions. And the rhythm of Wordsworth's ode runs in your head while he goes about from morning till night repeating bits of that common thing. Oh, why should the spirit of mortal be proud? And then suppose you are a woman well endowed, and the only man with whom the law and morality permit you to have the marital relation is the very man that fills you with disgust every time you think of it, while you think of it, every time you see him. That is why I drove him away from home, to live with his dog in a dingy room back of his office.
Well, Emily Sparks, your prayers were not wasted, and your love was not all in vain. I owe whatever I was in life to your hope that would not give me up, and to your love that saw me still as good. Dear Emily Sparks, let me tell you the story. I passed the effect of my father and mother. The milliner's daughter made me trouble, and out I went into the world, where I passed through every peril known of wine and women and joy of life. One night, in a room in the Rue de Rivoli, I was drinking wine with a black-eyed cocotte, and the tears swam into my eyes. Well, she thought they were amorous tears and smiled for thought of her conquest over me. But my soul was 3,000 miles away in the days when you taught me in Spoon River. And just because you no more could love me, nor pray for me, nor write me letters, the eternal silence of you spoke instead. And the black-eyed cocotte took the tears for hers, as well as the deceiving kisses I gave her. Somehow, from that hour, I had a new vision. Dear Emily Sparks.
Boy, where is my boy? In what far part of the world? The boy I loved the best in all the school. Oh, well, I, the teacher, the old maid, the Virgin Heart who made them all my children. Did I remember my boy aright? Thinking of him as a spirit of flame, active, ever aspiring. Oh, boy, for whom I prayed and prayed through many a watchful hour at night. Do you remember the letter I wrote you of the beautiful love of Christ? And whether you took it or not, my boy, wherever you are, work for your soul's sake, that all the fire of you, all the clay of you, all the dross of you, may yield to the fire of you, till fire is nothing but light. Nothing but light.
When Reuben Pantier ran away and threw me, I went to Springfield. There I met a lush, whose father, just deceased, had left him a fortune. We married when he was drunk. My life was wretched. A year passed, and one day they found him dead. That made me rich. I moved on to Chicago. After a while, I met Tyler Roundtree, villain. I moved on to New York. A gray-haired magnate went mad about me. So another fortune. He died one night, right in my arms. I saw his purple face for years thereafter. There was almost a scandal. I moved on, this time to Paris. I was now a woman, insidious, subtle, versed in the world, and rich. My sweet apartment near the Champs-Élysées became a center for all sorts of people. Musicians, poets, dandies, artists, nobles. We spoke French and German and Italian and English.
I met Count Navigato from native of Genoa. We went to Rome. He poisoned me, I think. Now, in Campo Santo, overlooking the sea where young Columbus dreamed new worlds, see what they have etched. Contessa Navigato, implora eterna quiete.
I was the milliner, talked about, lied about, mother of Dora, whose strange disappearance was charged to her rearing. My eyes, quick to beauty, saw far besides ribbons and buckles and feathers and leghorns and felts to set off sweet faces of dark hair and gold. One thing I shall tell you, and one I shall ask. The stealers of husbands wear powder and trinkets and fashionable hats. Wives, wear them yourselves. Hats may make divorces, they also preserve them. Well now, let me ask you, if all of the children born here in Spoon River were reared by the county somewhere on a farm, and the fathers and mothers were given the freedom to live and enjoy, change mates if they wish, do you think that Spoon River had been any the worse?
Where is old Fiddler Jones? He barrels of the fish fries of long ago, of the horse races of long ago at Clary's Grove, of what Abe Lincoln said one time in Springfield.
I have studied many times the marble which was chiseled for me. A boat with furled sail at rest in a harbor. In truth, pictures not my destination, but my life. For love was offered me, but I shrank from its disillusionment. Sorrow knocked at the door, but I was afraid. Ambition called me, but I dreaded its chances. Yet all the while, I hungered for meaning in my life. And now I know we must lift the sail and catch the winds of destiny wherever they drive the boat. To put meaning in one's life may end in madness, but life without meaning is the torture of restlessness and vague desires. It's a boat longing for the sea, and yet afraid.
Minerva, the village poetess, hooted at and jeered at by the yahoos of the street, all for my heavy body, my cock eye, and my rolling walk, and all the more so when Butch Weldy captured me after a brutal hunt. He left me to my fate with Dr. Myers, and I sank into death, growing numb from the feet up, on like stepping deeper and deeper unto a stream of ice. Will someone go to the village newspaper and gather into a book the verses I wrote? I thirsted so for love, I hungered so for life.
There's something about death.
Like love itself.
If with someone with whom you have known passion and the glow of youthful love,
You also, after years of life together, feel the sinking of the flame.
and thus fade away together, gradually,
Gradually,
faintly,
faintly,
delicately,
delicately,
as it were, in each other's arms, passing from the familiar room. That is the power of unison between souls, like love itself.
I would that I had thrust these hands of flesh into the disc flowers, be infested into the core of the fire of the light of life, the sum of delight. For what are antlers worth, or petals, or halo rays, mockeries, shadows of the core, the heart of the flower, the central flame. All is yours, young passerby. Step into the banquet room with the thought. Do not enter with the doubt that whether or not you're welcome. The feast is yours. Nor take but a little, refusing more, with a bashful thank you, when you are hungry. Is your soul alive? Then let it feed. Leave no balcony where you can climb, nor milk-white bosoms where you can rest, nor golden heads with pillows to share, nor wine cups when the wine is sweet, nor ecstasies of body or soul. You will die, no doubt, but die while living in the depths of azure, wrapped and mated, kissing the queen bee life.
I wrote him a letter asking him, for old time's sake, to discharge my sick boy from the army. But maybe he couldn't read it. Then I went to town and had James Garber, who wrote beautifully, write him a letter. But maybe that got lost in the mail. So then I traveled all the way to Washington. I was more than an hour finding the White House. And when I found it, they sent me away, hiding their smiles. Then I thought, he ain't the same as when I boarded him. And he and my husband worked together, and all of us called him Abe there in Menard. As a last attempt, I turned to a guard and said, please tell him it's old Aunt Hannah Armstrong from Illinois come to see him about her sick boy in the army. Well, just in a moment, they let me in. And when he saw me, he broke in a laugh and dropped his business as president and wrote in his own hand Doug's discharge. time's sake to discharge my sick boy from the army. But maybe he couldn't read it. Then I went to town and had James Garber, who wrote beautifully, write him a letter. But maybe that got lost in the mail. So then I traveled all the way to Washington. I was more than an hour finding the White House. And when I found it, they sent me away, hiding their smiles. Then I thought, he ain't the same as when I boarded him. And he and my husband worked together, and all of us called him Abe there in Menard. As a last attempt, I turned to a guard and said, please tell him it's old Aunt Hannah Armstrong from Illinois, come to see him about her sick boy in the army. Well, just in a moment, they let me in. And when he saw me, he broke in a laugh and dropped his business as president and wrote in his own hand Doug's discharge, talking all the while of the early days and telling stories.